this original garlic that was planted, I think it was about 7 weeks ago now. It's coming through lovely and strong now. It's really growing on. And all the other 3 rows that were put in a little bit later were looking like they're poking through and doing quite well as well. That poor little nasturtium in the corner, it's definitely dead now. But the fennel's not looking too bad. There's definitely not room for any elephant garlic in this bed. It's going to have to go and keep the purple sprouting broccoli company. I'm glad that's done. I've been putting that off for a bit. I mean, if they don't do so well, then they don't, do they? I mean, they're in the proper ground with the purple sprouting broccoli. They're still on a little sort of pile of compost, so they're raised up a little bit, but I've put them in reasonably deep. They are a good, there's probably a couple of inch on top of those cloves. So if it gets a bit soggy down that end on the clay soil and they rot off, then that's that, ain't it? But anyway, they're in and it's up to them now, I suppose. I think they'll be all right though. So next job's the winter sowing, so I'll have to go and get me bits and bobs for that. Right, so I'll show you what I'm sowing initially. I might do some other ones at some point, but what I've brought for now is I've got some pink and white straw flower that I kept from saved seed that grew at home this year. So I'm going to do those because the ones that were in the garden this year I winter sowed last year and they worked brilliantly, really good. So I'm going to do those again. I've got some now, how do you say it? It's always way into it, but I call it Cerinth. Major purpurescence. So I've grown this before, but I just did it in springtime and it was quite a lot of years ago, so I'm giving it another go this year. Just sort of show you the packet. It's lovely, very nice. And I was reminded of this because my friend had some growing in a garden this year and it was absolutely amazing. It looked like it was made out of distilled unicorns. It was just so luminous and so many beautiful different shades of greens and teals and bluey purples. It were lovely. So I'm definitely going to try doing some of those as a winter sowing. And I've also got, let's do that later, take that thing off. I've also got some Rudbeckia. So that one there. And because they take absolutely forever to grow, or at least they do for me, quite a slow growing thing, I'm going to do them winter sown and just see what happens, see if it enjoys it. If it doesn't, never mind. So all I put in here was, I put some of the old potato compost from the other day in the bottom, and I just sieved a little bit, and that's going to go on the top just to give the little seedlings a bit of an extra chance. And on top of that, when I put the seeds in, I'm just going to pat them in and then put a little bit of sand over the top, and that should be plenty. It's quite moist already, is this. I'll just give it a tiny little bit extra. I did put a few little drainage holes just stabbed with the knife in the bottom, but before I've also put a layer of gravel in and then not really bothered doing that, and that works okay. Because when this gets sealed up, it creates a little bit of a greenhouse effect and it will condense and kind of self-water a little bit. You just keep an eye on it if you do put it outside, because I think I've only brought one lid. I don't know where the other lids went. I might have put them in the recycling already, so I may just bung a little bit of grass or something in the top of there just to stop it from getting too much moisture in. I think we'll have these ones first, the Cerinth, or whatever you call it.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small we can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
So now they're in and all watered. I just left about an inch space in between them so they'll be easy to prick out next year. I've got plenty left, so I may see about doing another little sowing of those because I would like as many as possible really. And these, when they do actually set seed, they're really easy to collect seed from, so we'll definitely be doing that next year. And so now they're in and they're covered over. The sand is quite a good indicator of how damp things are in there because it does absorb the water a little bit. Well, it doesn't really absorb it, but it sort of wicks it up to the top of it, and then you can see whether it's drying out a touch. And I just quite like using it instead of vermiculite because it's definitely cheaper. And we did have this left over from a little bit of a building project, so why not reuse it? But now that's done, we just need to seal it back up, and then I'm just going to duct tape it down just so it stays put and isn't flapping around. So there's only the tiny little hole in the top that'll be exposed to the elements, and then this can literally be stood outside and it's fine all through winter and into spring when you see the little seedlings coming up. that's them done. Because I did 2 pots of the Cerinth, or however you say it, I'm going to have to come up with another one for this. You can use all sorts of stuff. You can use a milk bottle cut up. You can even tape together, you know, the plastic mushroom trays. If you get like a dark one underneath and then you tape a lighter coloured one on the top of it, works just as well. So yeah, I'll do those another day. I don't want them to grow on too fast and think that it's spring or anything. They do need the signal from the light and from the temperatures that it's not spring, so that they do slow down growing, because we just want them to put some decent roots down, get a tiny little bit of top growth, and then just stay in stasis. Just wait really until weather starts improving and we can get them potted on, and then they can do the thing, and we've got a head start on proceedings. It was great that I managed to pick up the bags of the chicken bedding as well to chuck in the big compost heap. So now that's all sort of mixed in, it should hopefully restart it and give it a little bit of invigoration. Invigoration. I'm going to have to look that up. I'm not even sure if that's a real word. So I best get tidied up now and get out of here, because it's turned very, very rainy. It's getting quite dark, and got tea to cook at home as usual with it being Sunday. So I'll get tidied up and ship out, and thank you for watching again, and don't forget, like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and see you next time. Bye. Where did you put that one? There's a pigeon on top of the shed. Anyway, be after brassicas, not mine, the cupboard. Well, there's 2 that aren't there, but one of them's a blown cauliflower, so I don't care about that. Why is it difficult? Like, what's going on up there? Is it only on a nail? Oh. It's not the best bucket to do this in, because it's got holes in. Not bad. Next. I'm still recording like a plum. God, how boring, eh? But it's surprising, it's probably pop. That we're in popping when the plants flop over. We've just been interrupted by a massive bin. Fair enough.